We're going to start off with our manifestors, who make up 9% of the population. So manifestors have no defined sacral. So on our little body graph, I have my cursor over the sacral, and it is a white box. So the sacral is undefined, but then there's another motor that goes to the throat. So in our example here, we have the will to the throat or the solar plexus to the throat. These are our three main manifestor channels. But if the root center down here, this is also a motor, if it made its way up to the throat, that could also be another configuration therein. Manifestors have the capacity to initiate or manifest, and they're here to impact us. They have this closed and repelling aura, which it doesn't necessarily sound the nicest, like this idea of repelling. I know that can hurt our manifestors' feelings because they tend to be the most sensitive. But it's this idea of they have almost like an armor around them that is kind of pushing the world away from them. It's pushing away undue influence. They're able to just like part the Red Seas like Moses, right? They can just go and do the thing and push it into the world. So they're here to not be influenced so they can push people away.
Half of that resistance or pushing away is the stuff from within them that has been conditioned in. So it's both. It's from within and from without. Look at this word resistant like what you would want in a good mosquito repellent. I mean, literally, that's what it's doing. It's keeping the little things that will sap your vitality because the capacity of the manifestor is to simply do outside of response without a wait for a response like a generator, without a wait for an invitation like a projector, and for a reflector, without an acknowledgement, a wait, and a sampling and an intermingling with the reflector, so none of that. They don't need any of that to do. They just need it after they start doing, because we all need people. Their job is to make an impact. That's one of the keynotes. Manifestors are here to make an impact. And when they see their impact, the bigger their impact and the better and the cleaner, the more peace they have. There's your peace anger binary that they're looking at, but they're always looking for peace and using and finding their anger when they run into the bad mosquito repellent. And little pinpricks from the entire world keep coming in, causing resistance, because sometimes they're big and they actually stop the manifestor, and suddenly there's anger. You need to recognize this anger is beautiful for you. It tells you, my frustration tells me, and your anger tells you, and it's a sense inside your body. It's a beautiful thing. It leads us all to how we're going to get to your strategy. You start seeing this. You've got this signature of peace, right? You've got an impact that you're making. So we're up to these keynotes. You've also got an impact list. Every manifestor has this beautiful impact list where they don't normally think about it much, but I'm asking you, think about it. If you're a manifestor, as soon as you're making decisions along the way, little minor ones, don't worry about it, but as they get bigger, who do I impact? It reminds you that you're here, and impact is part of that juice that gives you peace. You sort of forget that part because you just want the peace and get pissed if you can't have it. Sort of like manage and skip steps. And you take all this together and you end up with this beautiful strategy, an aura that is designed to push people out of the way and let the ones you love, let them in, they can come close, but you can push them out of the way too. By the way, you'll always be able to push out of the way the resistance that would stop you from initiating something without any waiting for response or invitation or anything, any kind of recognition. You just do. You're supposed to do that. You're little wild stallions, all of you, in one way, shape, or form, emotional or not. And you know it. You want it that way. So how does the strategy work to get you so you can live your life without resistance? The strategy to inform, right? They got raised with at least some manners. That's wicked helpful. So if you got manifestor kids, you teach them manners and to ask permission a little bit, and to just manners and please and thank you and courteousness. But as they get older, they don't need that anymore. What they really need is to just inform. It's a casual thing. It's easy, and it's a choice too. That's why this strategy seems a little unnormal to the manifestor, because they have to implement it. I don't have to implement my strategy. My strategy and the world implements me, and the same, and technically the same with you, but more sophisticated, Moni.
With manifestors, because manifestors can just do the thing. There's nothing that's stopping this manifestor child from like walking out the door and like
Right.
playing in the forest. They can just do it. Another type, okay, you're going to wait for the response or being invited or whatnot. A manifestor can just do the thing. So it doesn't come naturally to think, I'm going to tell somebody what I'm going to do because I could just
Right.
do it. Why would I tell them? I could just do the thing. So it doesn't come naturally, but that's the trick of it is if the manifester just does something without informing, that repelling, that closed, repelling, impactful aura, like knocks people out. It's
Becomes
like the
frightening to them one
it
way
becomes
in
fr-
their little core area.
Oh yeah, and like legitimately dangerous. It's the guy you're driving behind who doesn't put on his signal and all of a sudden he just stops to turn left. And you're like, "Why didn't you put on your directional? Like why did you just like stop and like cause this accident?" And of course people are going to like, throw you the bird and be
Right,
upset about it because you failed to inform that you're now going to impact everyone else behind you. So yeah, they're going to get annoyed and try to stop you from doing the thing that's going to harm them in some capacity. So,
mm,
like for manifestors to really understand that is if you inform us, we don't care what you do most of the times. It's the
right.
lack of informing that then whacks the door in my face where I'm like, what is going on here? And then I'm going to try to stop you or I'm going to try to defend or protect myself or however it shows up.
Or find out what you're up to. It's almost like a natural thing that humanity has. What are you up to? What are they up to? Hey, what's
What are
up?
you doing?
What's
You don't know
going
what
up?
they're going
What's
to
up
do.
over there? It's
Uh-huh.
just a thing, and it's a natural energy. In fact, it's part of a survival instinct. What are you doing? What are you doing? What do you? Actually, that's as natural as can be. What's up?
I don't
And
know what
so
this is. This can cause chaos.
it
This
could
manifester can cause chaos. I don't know what it is. That makes me scared. So of course I'm going to try to control the Tasmanian devil that might destroy my home.
that independent decision maker is all it is. So manifestors, as you're out in the world, recognize this. That strategy of to inform is a really finessed thing. You get to be real, fully embody all the ways that will work out for you. You're not going to tell everyone everything. That's not what informing means. You get a loudspeaker and start yelling out, "I'm going to the store." That's not,
Was like the John Cusack movie with the
yeah.
boombox above his head.
That actually, you might want to do that sometime. You would initiate that moment if it were just right, Mr. Manifestor. And we like that. But regardless, just recognize how much this will literally reduce the resistance in your life, like Moni was saying. I want you to think about, I'll inform, hey, I've been to the store. Okay, one informing, right? Let's come up with some money. I need to spend $1,000.
Cool.
That's both a question and an informing. It's like,
Mhm.
you're saying, and you'll see it, you'll find words that you'll use, but you'll see that as you say it out loud, the resistance to try to stop you goes down. If there and you have to test it, you have to play with it, you have to go through moments of like being concerned that you're stepping on toes, that you're being rude, because sometimes manifestors have been trained, almost had it beaten into them to try to play it small because they're too big. But
Mhm.
in reality, what we need our manifestors, we need you guys to be big as you'd like to be,
Just
whatever
tell
that
us.
means.
Just tell us to get out of the way.
Right,
Be big and
right.
just tell me and I'll get out of the way.
Or better yet, will come along. That's the beauty of the manifestor. They create a wake and they don't even know it. I would like
Mhm.
you to look back once in a while so you can understand this impact list I was asking you to make a moment ago, so you can see, oh, there is a wake behind me. There's a noticeable wake of like you're in a boat and it kicks up
Mhm.
the water behind it. Well, like that's my favorite example because that's where all the water skiing fun is right behind the wake of the boat, or at least some of it. You catch air there. You can
Yeah,
hit
there's
that
the you
thing
could
and
go
go.
tubing.
Yeah, tubing, dude. I got knocked over tubing last time I did tubing. It was great, flying through the air on that thing. I made it 3 times, and the fourth time the guy made me bounce. It was perfect. But that wake is you. That wake is you, and tell people. And the bigger the thing, the more selective the tell, because it matters. Sometimes when you don't tell, watch. Many times it won't matter. I'm
Well,
going to brush my teeth now. Maybe it don't. It doesn't matter. That's
but
just
that's
that.
a good way to practice though. Like it's the little things that the manifestors in my life who do this well, it's like they just announce like I'm gonna go have a cigarette and like cool, I don't care. There's almost this sense of why would you tell me? Because
Right.
it almost feels like that and it almost feels silly, but it's just like just let us know and then you go do the thing and you can feel, or at least I could feel the energy shift around the manifester where if they just declarative statement I am going to XYZ. The energy around them, it does open up. It's like it's more condensed. And as soon as the manifester informs, it turns into jello or like soft butter that they can just make their way through. And this idea of informing the people who will be impacted. If this is
Mm,
going to whack somebody in the face, let them know.
Right.
I'm going to go
Right.
do this. Well, maybe this person would have been looking for you if you didn't announce that you're going to go take a smoke break. Maybe now somebody's looking for you and they're going to get all upset. Whereas you're going to be like, "Hey, I'm going to go outside for a bit. I'll be back in 10 minutes. Don't, leave me alone, whatever."
Yep.
Kind of thing. And this idea with manifestors is just provide like a declarative statement. And in the same way with the manifestors in your life, speak to them in declarative statements. We have another episode
Yes.
coming up in a few
Yep.
weeks of talking to each type, so stay tuned for that. But this idea of manifestors want to be informed, and manifestors just inform us of what you're doing, and we'll get out of the way.
And none of that stops a regular dialogue from happening thereafter. These are all about the initiated moments. And when do those happen? Those only really happen in the now. Everything after that, you're not following. The textbook says I can say these words now. The textbook says I can say this next. It stops mostly after the moment of impact, after my response, after the manifestor's, recognition that they're going to have to say that they're going to inform. The thing is, it's the one that really gets chosen the most. You sort of have to implement it on yourself because technically you shouldn't have to do it. That's why it's an imposed strategy, whereas the other three are quite natural, like naturally occurring inside of us. See that, experiment with it. Tell us what you think about it. Hit us back and see, oh my God, I do get angrier and angrier the more resistance I get. And you can go back and see that was the times you informed people the least. Again, informing is all manner of how you might say or tell or even just give a hint. Maybe your idea of informing is giving a hint at first. It's vast. Play with it right up to the point of I'm doing this. Hey, I'll see you. Hey, I'll be back tomorrow. Whatever it is, the person will stop you if they want to say, hey, well, hold on, Kenya, and you'll stop. It'll be fine. But at least now they know. I want you to understand that if your aura is closed, it's closed to the other. They can't break through. No one can break through this. They just can't quite get in. The repelling is because it's closed. That closeness says there's a ball of energy in here. Imagine you sit down, you're outside, and suddenly you feel something next to you. Don't know, you can't get into it. You don't know what it is. That's scary by nature, just because we touched. When the auras touch, it's the same thing. It's energetic. It comes into us. We absolutely perceive this at this beautiful unconscious level, and it registers as discomfort for the rest of us. So, manifestors, witness we're sitting around helplessly discomfortable, not understanding why. You can even announce if you know you're a manifester and say, well, no, actually, that's my aura. Notice sometimes you feel like you just sat down next to something and I just pulled it away and you don't know what that was, right? If you sat down and something, you're like, I felt something and then it moved and it left, you'd be spooked about that, even though it left. It'd be like, is it coming back? What is it? What happened? That's what your aura does to people because it nudges them, like Moni said. It can bump into the people and it's designed to manifest, it's designed to repel that resistance, see that as your tool because the peeps in your tribe, they like that about you. And we all appreciate that about you, generally speaking. You're only 9%. There's a reason for that. The world can only take so much impact. Well, just manifestors right now, the amount of manifestors making the proper impact is still, I imagine, relatively low. So
Yeah.
now's your chance.
Yeah, a good manifester is magic. Like
Mhm.
absolute magic, like a good manifester. I am a projector. If I try to make things happen, if I try to
It's
push
everything.
things into the world, it's the pushing things into the world. I could do my own thing. I can study my own stuff. I can make my own stuff pretty. I could do my own little nerdery. But if I try to make something happen or push it into the world, my being, my aura, my field, whatever you call it, like I crumble into myself and collapse. I cannot push things into the world. I am an aura focused projector that is eating everyone around me. And if I try to make things happen, like I collapse like a crinkled can or a piece of paper. I collapse. But if I have my manifester do it for me, it's like smooth sailing. Like you said, it's like the boat just cutting into the water, and now I could like follow behind in the wake. And it's the
The plows,
smoothest, simplest thing.
the
Yeah.
plows when it snows. Boom, get behind them, man.
That's the best place to be. So it's like the good
Totally.
manifestors that inform us when you're going to impact us. And it's our job to inform them too. Because manifestors, if we don't inform them, they don't know what's going on and they get all batty and crazy and it's not fun for them. So inform your manifestors, let them know what's going on in just declarative statements. Because it even feels funny to us. Like, why should I tell you that? But just tell them the stuff that will have an influence on them, and it's just so much easier
And
for
watch.
everyone. Yeah.
And watch how Oh, this makes peace in my life more attainable. This makes my way a little bit easier. This makes my way a lot easier. This is uncomfortable at first. I can't tell what am I supposed to do. Recognize that as the conditioning. It's like you've been trained away from your nature for so long that it even seems weird. It should be easy after a little while, is what the real truth is. So, informing people drops the resistance, fixes up your way, fixes up your movement, your momentum. Really, you guys are the momentum makers. Well, yeah, you started.
They start it, yeah. And also, it's
Mhm.
like, be gentle and loving to your manifestors because, like, the way a manifestor's aura feels is like they have spiky armor that is pushing me away. And there can be like an annoyance with that of like, why are you knocking into me? It can be really agitating to be on the receiving end, but they don't even realize that they have that aura. And they are like the squishiest little, like little hermit crabs. Like they got their little shell around them, but on the inside, they're all squish and they're so sensitive and they
Good
end up
point,
feeling
Bonnie.
yeah, thanks. They end up feeling so bad because their aura pushes people away, and then people are weird to them. And then they're like, why are you being weird to me? And then they do make themselves small and they end up feeling really like kind of sad. And then they end up acting like fake projectors, like a bad projector, where it's like they want the invitation, but they're manifestors, so they're not going to get it. But then they don't push themselves out there and inform. And it becomes this whole mess of a thing. So manifestors, we want you big. Just let us know if you're going to smash into us. Like that's really big. Like if you're going to
Hmm.
be big, then you have to make sure you're informing us of how that wake is going to knock me over. That's the deal. You be big, let me know so I can move out of the way. And also, be loving with your manifestors and let them know that you do love them because they probably feel like they don't have that enough or they want some more of that because they tend to push the people away.
Yeah, manifestor peeps receive that stuff. You can even sort of ask for it. It's a thing that all by itself will make a good impact, just so you know. And you'll see a lot more of how that travels back and forth. This is a beautiful talk on the aura and the strategy, I think.